Yeah, viewers, you are welcome again to our program, Family Circle.
The family, they can't tell it.
Hello, distinguished audience. Welcome to your show, The Family Circle. I am your host, Daniel Inyang. Today, we have some wonderful things to discuss about today that has to do with new immigrants in Canada. But with me on the studio, I have our guest, which I'll be introducing very shortly. To my very immediate left, I have Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Dele and Titi Oludare. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome, ma. Yes, we are very familiar with our grand host in person of Reverend Blessing and our brother, Mr. Yomi, and Reverend Blessing Ajayi. You are welcome again to this program.
Thank you.
Yeah, very quickly, just to go straight to the point we have today. Many people are coming into Canada. Many families are coming into Canada. Some of them don't really know what they are coming to do. Some have watched a lot of YouTubes and they've gotten all sorts of information. Some have taken some information that has landed them into the downside of life and they are regretting coming, while some, yes, they got some good advices from what they have seen and heard and it has helped them. But I know that on our program, Family Circle, we try to educate people and help those who may want to take one thing or the other. Here, we talk about everything that concerns family, whatever it is, how we can help people. So I want to talk about new immigrants today on this show. I will start with the Oludares, but I don't know any one of you can take it. You guys came into Canada some few, maybe months ago and all that. Now, you hear in Canada they say, shock. Cultural shock. For me, the shock shocked me. How did you receive your shock? Were you shocked at all? Please share with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Appreciate this opportunity to be on this show. Actually, it actually shocked us. So, you have cultural diversity.
Yes.
We are coming from an environment whereby we are used to a particular kind of way of life.
Mm-hmm.
The system is very different. And when we now got to Canada, one of the major shocks we got, we had to develop a shock absorber anyway. So it was the shock of understanding the transport system.
Oh.
I'll pick the transport system as an example.
Okay.
Now, I for one, I like to study everything about my environment. But this one beat my imagination. I have to now cool down to... I know about GPS because I do something on GPS too. But I have to settle down to really say, brain open. I think brain, you have to open.
Wow.
So one of the major things that shocked us more is that it seemed as if maybe our brain was like
clustered to
close where we are coming from. So when we got here,
you have to force it open
because you have to just open your mind to understand
the environment.
And also, we just found out that in this environment, nobody talks to nobody.
That's another shocker.
As in, you're walking on the road, you come out, and you decide to take the bus.
You enter, you don't greet anybody.
Nobody greets, nobody talks.
Wow.
This environment is now wow. And we have to start adjusting gradually. Then another thing we found out also that shocked us mostly was we have a lot of people from one particular cultural background.
Okay.
Like dominating the
environment where you are.
Environment.
Okay.
I told myself, I said, this is monopoly. This is monopoly. Wake up. The environment, what it means for me is that it's going to be very, very competitive.
Okay.
So I began to prepare my mind and say, you are inside competition already.
Okay.
Not competition of winning a prize, but
living life.
Stand out.
Yeah.
To stand out. So it really make us to start sitting up.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you did not allow the shock to shock you down.
I know initially it shocked down.
Yes, let me hear. Yeah, yes, let's get the shock down. You are saying survival now. Oh, okay.
The most shock I received when I entered Canada is the shock of weather.
Okay.
Weather is too cold. And my husband will push, go out, go and free. It's good to be free. But where we are coming from Nigeria, we're free with everybody. But this place, you stay alone. I told my husband, I want to go back to Nigeria. The most important is that when you are coming, it's good to come to Nigeria, you must have somebody to stay with. If you don't have
very true.
Don't even bother yourself to come. The person you put your mind that will collect you, it can disappoint you.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
But you say your friend will say, come. When you get to your friend like, I'm sorry.
They will even come to the airport, they will switch off their phones.
Well, we had one experience at the airport. So, we didn't have much of this scenario where people will disappoint us. But when we go to the immigration, and we got to the immigration, he was supposed to call somebody to authenticate.
You're coming, yeah.
We just noticed that the immigration officer, just go and sit down. 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Wow. My say, start praying. Start praying. I say, pray for what? We're already here. We can't go anywhere now. I don't have any issue. But later we found out that the immigration officer called the person. The person is saying, my friend, will you shut up your mouth? He's not, if you are those Yahoo people. So he say, no, I'm in government official. The guy said, no, come on, shut up the phone. I said, oh God Almighty. It was,
the best thing is that if you don't have somebody here that you can stay, though it's good, though, but don't bother yourself to come. And when you have property, my advice that when you have property in Nigeria,
don't sell.
Don't sell it. Anything can happen.
Because you can be shocked.
Yes. Look at those people that are US. The president that is there, and told them all the
Trump.
That you have Trump and say, if you don't have your paper, go back to the
country.
But if you have sold all your property, what do you want to go and make?
Oh, truth.
That is why, if you have the money, come to Canada. Don't sell your property. I'm not advised that.
Is it?
When you go back home, you can see what you can
fall back to. Yeah. You see, actually, my own experience is even. I came into Canada day 3. When I woke up, even jet lag was even causing a lot of trouble for me. They thought they just called my family. I said, I'm coming back home. No more school, no more school. They said, you're not coming anywhere. Stay there. You know, you are indoors, depression, no sun, nothing.
Nobody to talk to.
Oh, nobody to talk to and all that. So, well, it's good that we got this experience from you. Now, the question I will ask, I'll push to the Ajais is, how do you navigate the Canadian education system, adjust to it? You are coming in as new immigrants, you have children. How do you navigate it? Any one of you can take it.
Okay, first and foremost, for the children, you need to know the kind of schools that you wanting your children to attend.
Okay.
When we came, our children they started attending public schools,
Okay.
and we found out that from them there are a lot of complaints, being bullied at school, and then during the bus time there's been a lot of challenges, among their peers. So we know
What kind of challenges?
like I said, the discrimination.
Okay.
Against them. Then and I look at the culture here. Was quite different from where they were coming from, although
True.
they were still young. So what we try to do at that point, we now talk with our family in the church. So we were advised that it's better for them to attend Catholic school as against the public school, because the Catholic school, they're more orderly, and then they imbibe the Christian culture into them. So after the first year, the following year, we have to switch all of them to
the Catholic
school, and from there we saw significant
improvements.
In their socializing with people and their education. So I would advise families with children to push as much as possible for their children
to go to the
Catholic schools.
Reverend, what's your opinion on this? Do you also toe the line, or you have something you want to add for us to learn?
Okay, so like a new immigrant, like we all say, when we come from a background where you have people helping you, some parents don't even know how their children go to school. All they care about is the school fees. And then you're coming here now, you have to be with your child according to the Canadian school system. You take your child to school, making sure that your child is looking it, is eating it. Meaning that when I mean eating it, you have to make sure you ready your child properly for school, making sure that all the resources that the child needs is available. If not, they will they will report you that you're not taking care of your child. So first of all, when you come, like if you know that your child is on kindergarten, then you first of all look for the school in the location, environment, the neighborhood where you are. Every neighborhood in Canada have their school, whether public or private. We have Catholic school in every neighborhood. We have also Catholic public school. So depending on which one you belong, if you have the documentation that will enable you to enter Catholic, then you can take them there. And that Catholic has to be in your riding, in your area. So if not Catholic, you take them to public school, right? So then when you take your child to the school, if the child is registered, it is advised that parents should stick to their teachers and being able to know the teachers of their children, and follow the child to school, understanding the curriculum and activities that the child has to go through even when they're in school. Like you will have to drop your child to school and pick your child back. But if the child has to use bus, you need to direct also how the child will enter bus, and then you go back and pick the child back.
Wow.
So this is a routine that no parent can dodge in this country.
And you can't give somebody to do.
Who will do it? They will get tired. So definitely, if your child is in kindergarten, you got to go through kindergarten till elementary school, from elementary school to middle school, from middle school to high school. So I will say that this system have helped a lot of parents to be more devoted and
to their children,
and, bonding.
Wow, that's an advantage.
Yes,
That's really an advantage.
Is very, very important.
Yeah,
you know your child.
Can even cause bonding too.
Exactly, but for those who are used to back home, like they carry house help, do everything, they can struggle with that. And then I will also advise that when the new immigrant comes, yes, it's good for you to work. That's why it is encouraged that you make some money so that it can cover you for some time until when you get settled properly, so that you'll be able to give your family that attention, for them to be able to navigate the new system.
Great.
Right? Yeah.
Well, before we go on our short break, there is something you said which I want to really attack so that we learn. You said because something happened to me just recently where my children were going to school. I told them, take your food to school. They said they are not going to school with food. I said, okay, if you're not going to school with food, no problem. They went to school. 12 o'clock, they called me from school. Why are your children not eating? I said, you asked them. They said they are not going. Well, I said, don't say that too.
They can report you.
So now, that is the reporting you mentioned now. On what basis, when my child said he doesn't want to take food, for example,
Okay.
and now he goes to school and you are reporting me, you're not asking me when the child is there. I just want to know, because you said something about reporting.
Okay.
That is why I want us to clear so that people will understand when they can be reported and when they cannot be reported.
Yeah, that's exactly what you say about being reported. Well,
Yes.
it's two ways of reporting.
Okay.
That one is the teacher within the class.
Okay.
Another one is the report you to social services. That's
That's-
the one that will implicate you, meaning that they've been observing your child and your child complained there is no food. And then the second time he comes, even if you say that you should take food to school and he refuses, that means your child doesn't like the food you gave him. That's why
Okay, that's what they'll be
complain.
thinking.
Of course. And then that child cannot stay like that. So the teacher has to look for something in the class to give them.
True.
Right? So that is why for me, when my kids were growing up, I told them, and I would tell the teacher, don't give my child any food. Because that's my own discipline too. If I tell you take something and you don't, I will call the teacher, don't give them any food.
But if they report you, what happened? They say your
No,
food is
for
not
me, I am dedicated to my kids with school, so they know me.
good. Okay.
So if they see that you're not always there with your kids and your kids are struggling and not looking well, but if they know that
you are close
you're
to
always
your-
working with the teacher, with the principal,
So
and all
they will know
that,
that it's the child's issue.
it's the child issue, yes.
Okay,
So in that
alright.
case, I am telling you, this is what you have to do. You have to do. If you don't do it, I tell you, don't rough your uniform at school, and you rough your uniform at school, and they call me to bring clothes. I say, no, I'm not bringing clothes to you. I told you, don't do that. Next time you will not do it. That's my own style. And because I work close with my
And
teachers,
that will not implicate you in any way because you are working with your teachers.
yeah, I will call the teacher and I
Okay.
say, this is it.
All right.
It's not like I'm lacking in their presence.
Correct.
Like me, I devote 12 years for my kids throughout their school. I did not work. I did not do any other thing. I just devote that.
No,
because I have 4 kids.
you see, clarity
So,
is very important.
Yeah, so it's different because that means that everything I'm there. Everything I'm there. I'm following them up. It's different from someone that just dropped the child and then go back to work. Probably somebody will pick up, or sometimes they will not pick up, or they will go to, so that's another level of commitment.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So-
if not, if you don't hearken to what is supposed to be, and they see your child, they see that your presence are not there, they call social service.
Okay. So I'm clear now. If you do your part, you are sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do. You are visible in school. They know that, yes, you are keeping up. Then it's the child's issue. But when you neglect your responsibility, that is where they will call up on authority to see how they can see.
Yeah,
they
to
can
investigate.
So, okay, if they investigate, what do they do? They take your child from you or something?
Yeah, so there was a time, or one time like that, they investigated.
Okay.
They came to when they will come to your neighborhood, you will not know.
Okay.
Then they will tell them that no, this one is always with the child. It's always the neighbors will tell them. But if something is wrong, the neighbor will know that no, this one is like they are not taken care of. So they prognosis different ways.
Well, viewers, you've heard. I know you are gaining from this so that when you are doing your plans, you begin to know what you are coming to meet. There is a shock. Come with your shock absorber so that you will not say, oh, they didn't tell me. Now we're going on a short break. We will come back to the program Family Circle, where we'll still be talking and be looking into how we can help new immigrant families, particularly to settle. Thank you. See you soon.
They say every heroine don't wait to be served. She writes her own story. Every woman has a story of strength, courage, love, and ambition. They rise above challenges, break through careers, and inspire us all. Join the heroines Blessing Ajayi, Adechishola Otiba, Emma Answer, Kim Ambrose, and Mokesh Burke as they take you on a journey through the fascinating world of women, with stories that touch your heart, challenge your mind, and uplift your spirit.
Accomplishing, if I'm in any sort of pain about anything, they're there for me. And to me, that is the embodiment of sisterhood.
And which is what we bring to the table. If we were all the same, then it would not have the power that it needs to have. But if you're unique and you're bringing different skill sets, that is how we build each other up. That is how we help each other, empower each other.
So sisterhood is really celebrating each other's successes. Successes.
Talk to them about their problems, their challenges, and that's how I started building my network.
And like we all said, every woman has a heroine within her. Until you discover
This, The Heroine Show. Showing on the Black Community Canada TV on YouTube and other BCCTV platforms. Join the conversation on socials and lend your voice, because every woman is a heroine.
Welcome back to our show, The Family Circle. Yeah, we went on break just to give breathing space to our host, our guest. I'm your host, Daniel Yang, and we want to continue our discussion on the new immigrants family in Canada. I still have with me here the Oludares and the Ajayis. Thank you so much for your input, and I believe that our viewers there will gain so much. Now, I want to still push a question to you. You've been to Canada how many months now? 3 months now. Good. Then this question will be suitable. How have you been able to navigate into employment? Because everything here is about bills. You must pay your bill for water, they call it gas, or they call it, you must pay your bill for everything. How have you been able? Has it been easy? What are the challenges navigating through employment system in Canada?
Okay, thank you very much once again for this question. Employment actually has been I call it a new trend, a new challenge.
Okay.
Or a new experience.
Okay.
Back home is not like this. Now, one of the major challenges you face here is how to prepare your resume.
Okay.
In fact, the resume writing is an employment on its own. You have to just know how to write a good resume. And we are in a very technologically advanced country where technology plays a very key role in everything. So writing a good resume requires writing with good grammatical construction. So we have a challenge. Initially, we have challenge with that, writing the resume, because you come in and you just drop in several resumes, you receive several
no's.
And you get frustrated. So it has been a challenge. So it has to be done the Canadian way. So I asked myself, what is this Canadian
way?
Everything has to be done. So but I like it. It's an identity. I said to myself, these people just have carved out a very
niche for themselves. Yes.
You must have a Canadian way of writing resume, Canadian experience before you can get a job. Yeah. But the employment system here is challenging in that when you come here, you have to be humbled. the system humbled everyone that comes. And one of the things that I saw that I like is that they base their employment based on experience.
On what you can do.
Basically on experience. Very few instances you have, they put qualification at the end.
Okay.
Their job responsibility.
Okay.
It's basically
what you can do. What you can offer.
So they will give you the responsibility. They want to see whether you can do it. And I found out that there's work for everybody. Unlike where we are coming from, that everything has been narrowed down to 3. I call it 3. 3 perfect. You want to go become a lawyer, engineer, or you want to become a doctor. So when you meet people, if you are in Port Harcourt, ask the guy, what do you become?
Doctor.
Engineer.
Okay. So, because there's oil in Port Harcourt.
Oil in Port Harcourt. I've met a lot of people that say, I want to become a mechanical engineer. I say, okay, go and learn small mechanical. I say, no, lie. So I say, what are you not doing in mechanical engineer if you cannot touch the spanner? So I move around a lot. You need to have this experience. But this environment give everybody a face. Both the cleaner, both the sweeper.
So there's dignity in labor. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it well.
Yes. And have the most important is that for education, for water is that you must get experience from the experience. If you don't have work, people will say that you should go for volunteer.
Okay, that's another.
You have experience.
For example, me, I submitted resume. I don't get response about the caregiver or personal support. And somebody said that maybe you go for volunteer. Maybe the person
can recommend you.
And train
you. And when the person have customer or anything, he can tell you to go.
And that's how you started.
Yes.
That's how I started.
Wow.
She's doing right now. So she started doing this volunteer. You need to just have to have this Canadian experience. So but I'm still doing research on this Canadian.
You see, well, you
I love it.
Yes.
He humbled me, and well, I'm not a high-minded person naturally. I like to go from the ground and
climb up again.
So
wow.
Humble us, and because you find out, look, you can just be whoever you want to become.
You can't be a certificate here.
And
From
be a normal
Nigeria,
person.
you have a caregiver something from Nigeria. They will say no. You must have their experience. What are the experience they need it from you? The best way to have the experience.
So no matter the experience you have in Nigeria, they will tell you, get our own.
Yes.
Well,
it actually now affects you getting
the job. Okay.
So those people that want to come from Nigeria, no problem. When you come, just know this, that when you come, you have to
do something.
There's a pathway.
And again, you have to remove ego, throw away the ego, and be normal human being. Normal.
You see, if I'm getting something from you, because all the questions I've been throwing to you, you always find out to bring out the positive out of it. We see people say a lot of negative things about here. Now, like you said, I think there are some agencies too that they can even help you with this resume.
Yeah.
That government has, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. There are a lot of agencies that help people to write resume.
And it's free.
And you know that the peculiarity is this. You are coming from Nigeria, you want to apply for a construction
job. Okay.
And they write in the job responsibility, no experience. My brother, you will still have to write experience in that your resume.
What you know.
And write all the things, or else the work will not fly. And you have to write it properly. So like me, naturally, I like to write. But I have to now start sharpening how to write better now.
Correct.
So that I can be able to write.
And again, too, what I also observe, I don't know if it is a trend, and it's a normal thing, where you are coming from, one resume or CV as it is called, fits all the jobs. But in Canada, I don't think it works like that.
If you apply for, even if you apply for construction laborer, I'm using that
as an example, yes.
For 4 different companies, they have 4 different job responsibilities.
So you must tailor.
The resume will be 4 different
resumes. So you must tailor it. So I can now relate to your statement that writing resume is a full-time work. All right.
I don't have work to do. The campaign is my husband that is doing it. Those resume here, they will pay.
And they pay, yes, they pay $6
to do.
To write and if you want to be writing writing for different.
But there's some organization that they said they do for free if you know them very well, particularly all those that are related to government. Because I know there are some.
What they do that I go to one of them, access employment. They will give you a counselor.
Okay.
We'll just be checking what you are writing and be correcting you.
Oh.
But you will be the one to do the writing.
Okay.
So, but if you are not good in grammar.
Okay.
But if you're not still good in grammar, there are tools online
that can help
write for you.
Okay.
But the idea of what you are doing has to come from you.
Yeah. All right.
So what the challenge is that it's a very beautiful environment, but it needs for your brain to open.
All right, thank you very much. I love the energy and I love what is coming. Yeah. You don't need to dull about it. You have to do something about it.
No, you have to. Your brain has to open.
Now, another thing we hear outside is about health. Oh, when you come to Canada, the health system is, oh wow, you can go to any hospital to do this, you can go to any hospital to do that. But we have seen people coming here, and it's not so. What is the issue? I don't know if the Ajayi can help us with that on the health system of Canada. How will the new immigrants fit in, or what are the challenges? Let me start with challenges then. What are the challenges they will likely face, and how do they navigate those challenges?
Yeah, thank you for that question. People landing in Canada, they have they come under different categories.
Okay.
So they have different status, upon landing. So based on your status will determine the kind of the medical health system, medical care that you can access. For instance, if one lands as a PR, that's a permanent resident, you have the access to the program, like in Ontario, they call it Ontario Health Care System. So you have access after 3 months of landing. You have access to that insurance, the health insurance.
For 3 months?
After 3 months upon landing.
Okay.
So
when you are a PR?
Yeah, when you are a PR. So before then, they are expected to buy a medical insurance, to cover yourself. Yeah, that's the immigrants. But okay. It depends if you have the financial resources to do that. Okay. So that's one side. For the people that are landing like students, for instance, the students, the institutions, they have a kind of health medical system that they incorporated into the system for the students. So that insurance is provided by the school. So in case the children have medical needs during that time, they can access it at I believe it's a discounted premium, So that's by the way. But the people that face the most difficult challenges are the people that are visitors, because they land with their visiting visa. They don't have access to the Ontario, like I said, medical insurance that is provided for the PR and the citizens. So the only way for them is to buy their own medical insurance as well. It's very expensive, but then it's better than not having anything. Yeah, because when one falls sick or one falls ill and you want to attend, you want to see the medical personnel or doctor, you have to pay from your pocket. That's for the consultancy. But if you now have to, you have to go beyond that. Maybe you need to do some tests. These tests, like an X-ray or blood work, they are very expensive here. So it's advisable for people, the new immigrants or the people that are visiting, to
fall into these 3 categories you have mentioned.
Yeah, to to purchase the medical insurance. You know, at least at minimum to cover themselves in case of a medical emergency.
But looking at it, Reverend, you know, some people, they tell you, I've heard 2-3 times, I went to one of the occasions or events in my junior school. The man said that he went to the hospital, they gave him an appointment for 3 months for him to come. There was some people died before the appointment. How quick is this medical benefits or medical this thing assessed? How can you quickly assess it?
Okay, you mean for people that are eligible?
Yeah, for new immigrants.
Okay.
We know about all those areas which is good. So what?
Okay, so for a new immigrant, well, it's advisable that when you come into the country, you must have a family doctor.
Okay.
And though family doctors are very scarce, there are some people they are very hard to get, but there are still people that are still available. Okay. So you must look for a family doctor, meaning that every report about your health goes to that family doctor. Okay. So that family doctor know everything about your family. You know, even if you go to the hospital, they send the result back to your family doctor. So it's advisable for every migrant to look for family doctor. And then when you have your family doctor, let's say now you're not feeling okay and you want to see the doctor, you are advised to go to the family doctor to check you. But if it is under emergency, you are encouraged to go to the hospital. Okay. All right, so hospital will check everything immediately. But when you go to family doctor, they will take your lab, if it is to take you to the lab to do tests and all that, you return back to the family doctor. That means you're not under emergency. Okay. Yeah, so then having to wait, depending on the state of your health at that time. Most time your health might not be threatened, and if they check that your health is not threatened, they will deal with you accordingly. Okay. Right? But you know how it is, there are a lot of people, depending on how you go. But well, being a country whereby they give free health, of course, sometimes you have to wait. But they always advise you that if it's something that you know is under emergency, when you go to the hospital, highest you will wait longer, but they will attend to you.
Okay. Well, this is an amazing moment. I just want to ask just one question, and I know it's a very big question, but I still want to push it to you because you have been here for some time. Just one question. What are the challenges that this new immigrant face when it comes to their relationship, husband and wife relationship? What advice do you give those people who are coming here? Let me ask advice because of our time, because we'll soon be wrapping up now. What advice do you give couple or family, husband and wife that are coming to Canada to manage their relationship so that it will not be cracked or be affected? Okay,
one of the things that affect relationship is understanding. Understand the fact that they are coming to a strange land, okay, and they have to learn the system and then adjust to it. One of them is if those families, like most of the cases that I do here, is about finance. Because let's say now you are an immigrant, a permanent resident, that means you're entitled, you have children, and they will pay your children some support. And then it is a problem between husband and wife, because the husband want to keep the money and the wife say, why are you keeping the money? The husband say, okay, let's take this money and solve that problem. But the wife say, this money is for the children, right? Those things are normal things that causes unnecessary problem among husband and wives. And then all about money, basically, and then who work first, who go and who stay in the house to take care of the children. So most time it's like that, but I think all of those things will come because of lack of communication and understanding, and also lack of comparison. Most time it's other influences. Okay. You know, talking about, the land is for women, the land is not for men. And then the man will say, okay, this land is for women. Maybe if my wife go close or know more about this land, now it's going to land me in problem, and start reacting. And before you know, the man that is behaving well, I'm not just saying the man, both women and the men, now start fighting because of what they hear, what some or another woman did to her husband or another man did to their wife.
Okay.
So hearsay then say is actually a big deal.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I want to thank our guests, particularly the Oludaris, for finding out time to come to this program, Family Circle. Thank you. I also want to thank.
Sorry, can I round up because I was just saying the problem, but I've not given the advice yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay, just take 1 minute.
So, having said all that, I want to say that when new immigrant comes in like that, it's good for both of them to understand themselves, learn the system where they are in, and be able to work with each other so that they can be able to take care of the challenges with both each other, between themselves, and not putting the third party in between. And also knowing that no matter the challenges that they go through, that they will overcome. And by the time when they pass through the system, they will not see the joy, the blessings of the system that will help them, and tomorrow they will be happy that they came. So it's not all about the challenge, but there is also blessings, there is also good things that will begin to enjoy, and then they become a happy person or happy couple in the land.
Okay, thank you, thank you so much, the Jais, for this time, and I know that our viewers, you've learned so much. So when you are coming in to this place, know very well that there's so much you have to learn before you come in. This is your host, Daniel Inyang. Before we sign out, I want you to understand that you can follow us on our YouTube, Black Community Canada TV, and if you have any question, if you have any point you want us to discuss in terms of marriage, please just throw it in there. We bring it to amiable panel that can address this matter. Thank you very much. See you soon as we sign out.